Hello, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Elliott with Rickety Ski Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the Salomon QST Lumen 98. Now the Lumen is the version of the QST 98 marketed towards women. What's the difference between the ski? Well, nothing. It's the same exact ski, just different top sheet. God, I don't know why we need that. I think everyone should take a page out of Fisher's book and just have a unisex ski, but that's just my opinion. At least in the case where there's no design difference, like this QST Lumen. Now, we talked about Curated's review of it. It was kind of a nothing burger. They didn't really talk about how it skied. There was some pretty good skiing from this one racer, but she didn't actually get to talk, so. But today we're going to react to Ski Essentials review of the Lumen 98. Now they have a new person reviewing. It's this woman. She does a pretty good job from what I've seen. I've only watched like some of her shorts, so I don't know how the long form videos are, but let's jump right into it and see what she thinks. Now, to give you a recap, with the Salomon QST 98, which is the same ski, I really love this ski. I thought it was the most innovative ski design that I'd seen. It kind of has this second bulge to it that kind of holds you in the turn in this really sweet spot. It carves really well. It's a really light ski, so it floats on top of the powder really well. It has very quick edge-to-edge time, so if you're in the trees, it's very responsive. This was a really nice ski. This was one of my ski of the year picks for last year, and it's the same for the 2024 as the 2023, so an excellent ski. The only downside I said was that if you get into a really steep and narrow corridor, it doesn't like to not complete its turn. It wants time to kind of bring the turn around. So if you kind of get into one of those awkward turn angles, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that's very specific. It has to be like very steep and very narrow, then you just kind of have to wash out your turn. When you're carving, it doesn't like that. If you kind of wash out your turn, it does fine with that. Like if you're skiing in the backcountry, don't worry about that. But if you're carving and you kind of have to release your turn early, it can feel a little weird. But that is such a small subset of a subset. The majority of the time, this is a great ski. But on this channel, we're honest about the good and the bad. So I would say that's the ski's one weakness. I still gave it a 9 out of 10, so obviously I really like the ski. And I went out and bought the QST 106 because I was so impressed with the QST 98. Take that for what it's worth. I like the ski a lot, and let's jump in and see what Ski Essentials thinks. Now this video doesn't have a ton of views, but I would guess that's probably just because it's a new person. People are just kind of used to the old, you know, Jeff and Bob show, but I think it's good that we're seeing someone new. So let's see what she thinks of the QST 98 Lumen. All right, and here we go.
Hey skiers, it's Emily from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Here in front of me, I have the Salomon QST Lumen 98. This is the middle option in the QST lineup with the Lux 92 and the Stella 106 as the other options. So 98 underfoot, really great all-mountain package, very lightweight, stable, and highly maneuverable.
Yeah, that's nice skiing. They can use a little bit of a pull plant there at the end. What's happening is they're kind of getting back. But that happens on the East Coast. Very good skiing. They're like really good downhill pressure, really good like upper body, lower body separation. This is very clean skiing. And a nice change. Oh look, Curated had like somebody who just shredded, and then they had somebody who was intermediate. It's so all over the place. I appreciate that Ski Essentials is like very standard expert level skiing.
The difference between last year's version and this year's is just the graphics. So we get the same great build and shape, which has proven its success. So excited to know that we're getting the same ski, just with a new look. So like I said, it's just a great all-mountain free-ride ski with an impressive level of performance and versatility, and this is the middle of the road waist width, so veering more towards powder.
Okay, this person washes out their turns a little bit more. You need to stand on the downhill ski a little bit more confidently, especially on the East Coast. If you don't trust the downhill ski, it will not catch, and that ice will eat you for breakfast. Still very good skiing, but if you're watching this and you want some critique, hey, it's for free. You didn't ask though, so whatever. As far as what they're saying about the ski, everything's spot on. It is a very maneuverable ski. It's a very stable ski in the carving. I just wish that they wouldn't use so much what I call shop talk, where you're just kind of talking about things very vaguely. You should talk about where it feels maneuverable, like, okay, edge to edge, it feels good in the trees. It also feels kind of quick to make a turn carving. When you say these kind of vague things, you just kind of hear the same thing over and over about every ski. Oh, it's playful. Oh, you know, and that's how you kind of, it can be hard as a consumer to understand what you're saying specifically. But it is a very maneuverable ski, so far so good.
Soft snow oriented ski than the 92 underfoot option. So starting with construction, we have a full poplar wood core, which adds the ideal level of stability and strength, and also is just maneuverable and provides a really consistent flex from tip to tail. And then we have Salomon's CFX blend, which incorporates a layer of carbon and flax, and it's woven together to increase the level of energy and snap that you get in and out of turns. So really takes the construction to the next level and balances out the strength to weight ratio, which is really noticeable in just how it performs.
Okay, this person's clearly pretty new to this, so I'm not gonna like go in as hard as I would on curated. But I will say that, like, yeah, everything you're saying is true. You are definitely like describing the construction well. The only critique I would have is like, there's talking about the construction, which anybody can read off of the Salomon website, and then talking about how that is implemented and how it actually feels on snow, like in plain language. Does that make sense? Like, I love talking about construction. I think there's such cool different constructions that different ski manufacturers use. Salomon specifically has like the most innovative ski shape that I've seen in the last like maybe 20 years, maybe more. I don't know. I guess shape skis came, so that skews it a little bit, right? But this is not that level of change from straight to shape skis, but within the shape ski realm, this is one of the most innovative ski shapes I've seen. So take that for what it's worth. But let's give her a fair chance. Let's keep going.
We also have corked amplifier in the tip and tail, and that really enhances just the level of dampening and smoothness that you get when you are pressing into the tip of the ski, and when you encounter any kind of vibration or chopped up variable snow, it's just kind of cruises right through, and the corked amplifier in the tip and tail really takes care of that and allows for just smoothness through the length of the ski.
Okay, I kind of get what she's saying. It does feel like the smoothest turn. When I did my review back in the spring, I talked about that. This feels like the smoothest turn you can get. But what it's missing is like there's a few things that can make a ski feel smooth. There's a difference between smoothness and flex, right? So when you pressure your boot, you want it to have kind of an even flex, and different skis have different things based on what you like, but you want it to feel kind of gradual. It's almost like when you've cut a block of cheese with a knife, you want to kind of build that pressure and have the ski change its shape smoothly to correspond with that. She's kind of conflating that with dampness of a ski, right? Like how it handles chatter and reverberation. Those things do kind of happen at the same time, especially on the East Coast, but I would say that those are different functions of the ski that she's kind of combining in this narrative. But that's just my very minor critique.
For shape, we have a freeride rocker profile. So we have 20% rocker in the tip and camber underfoot with 15% rocker in the tail. So the QST line really features just a really cool, playful freeride shape. As you can see, we have quite a bit of rocker starting about here with some moderate early taper. So the first time
Okay, you guys need to either edit these to get rid of the ums and likes, or you need to do another take where this is a little bit better, because I'm having a hard time watching this. Like, this is a lot of ums and likes. Even when I edit my own videos, I edit them out because I don't like listening to them. I watch myself talk whenever I edit these videos, and it's brutal. But you guys need to either chop them up, edit these, or I don't know, do another take on it.
Saw the QST lines with the new shape last year. It really blew my mind, just the dramatic shape of the tip of the ski. So you're getting just that awesome level of flotation in the tips, and then camber underfoot, like I said, with quite a bit of rocker. I mean, still in the tail, less in the tip, but still a good amount. So just you get that really nice energetic release from the tails, and you can really kind of swivel the tails out of a turn, or you know, just press out of it and have that level of energy that's really ideal.
Yeah, that part's true. It does kind of wash those turns out when you need it too quickly. But that being said, I mean, I talked about this before. This is all shop talk where you're using kind of the same 8 adjectives to describe a ski. It doesn't describe skis very well. It's the same thing with like wind ski, quiver, playful. It's so vague that it doesn't really adequately describe how these skis feel on snow. This ski is so different than other skis, right? Because it doesn't have TI, but it's still very stable and strong. It can carve well, but it also, I would say its primary place would probably be the trees, at least in my opinion. It's got great flotation, it's got great turn shape, but it can also carve when you need it to. It can make it hard for people to differentiate this ski from a Fisher Ranger, from a Vocal Mantra, right? Because if you say, or a Vocal Deacon, like Vocal Deacon's playful, but it's a very different ski, right? One is really quick slalom type turns, and one is like easy and maneuverable off the trail.
The other application that goes a long way in this ski is the use of the double sidewall technology. So with the dramatic level of taper and rocker in these skis, the effective edge is shortened a little bit, just given how dramatic the shape is. And so Salomon went ahead and used the double sidewall technology to make up for that. And it really takes the edge grip and just level of stability underfoot a long way. So really balances it out and makes for just a well-balanced performance out of this ski.
And I would say that's something that differentiates it from the Atomic Bent, where you've got something that's really just powder oriented and doesn't really do a good job of carving, and then you have that kind of double sidewall creating stability and creating the ability to carve the entire way through the turn, whereas the Atomic Bent kind of just does in the first half of the turn.
This is the, I believe, I don't know what length, oh, luckily they have it right here. So this is a 168 centimeter length, and in this length we have a 15 meter turn radius. So, you know, for the dramatic rocker lines and the 98 millimeter waist width, the 15 meter turn radius is pretty middle, not super short, not super long, so it's kind of just perfectly in the middle and allows the skier to really dictate the shape and turn style that they want to make. They can give in the double sidewall technology and just...
This is a little brutal. This needed to be edited down. I know that they like sent out 500 of these at once, but this is brutal to watch. And I'm no better. I understand that, but I'm learning as I go, so it's kind of free advice. Yeah, I mean, everything she's saying is pretty on the money. From what I can track, it kind of goes all over the place, but I don't know if I would want these on the East Coast. They're kind of wide, and especially like if I was putting my wife on a ski on the East Coast, I don't know if I would put her on something this wide for the majority of the year. I know you guys get snow, and I know that there are like snowstorms, but I really think that this is a little bit wider than what most people would need. They don't always address that, so I'm just gonna address it here. I think that this might be overkill for kind of a daily driver on the East Coast. If you want this as a designated powder ski, hey, it's great, and it can still give you some solid turns, but for a daily driver, I think there's some better options, including the QST 92 and, you know, a handful of other skis. Fisher Ranger 90, Atomic Maverick, Atomic Maven.
The overall nature of this ski, it's really responsive and maneuverable. So if you're wanting to make those really quick, snappy turns, you know, say in the bumps or the trees, they're more than capable of doing so. And then when you want to open it up and just make those longer, more surfy turns, they're great at that too. So.
Yeah, that's great. That is the kind of stuff I want to hear. It does make really great surfy turns while also having a stable carving. And that's kind of the beauty of that Salomon construction. That is kind of the perfect way of describing what Salomon does well. Great. It took us a while to get there, but good.
Salomon really kind of found that sweet spot in this ski and just making it an ideal all-mountain package capable of doing kind of a little bit of everything. Definitely wants to be in the deeper, softer snow, just given the width and the freeride rocker profile, versus the Lux 92, which has a little bit better on-piste, hard pack, like firm snow performance. So just depends on what you're wanting to use the ski for. But really impressively versatile. I would say an intermediate level skier to advanced level skier could benefit from this ski. It just is really intuitive and allows for easy access to all mountain performance. So if you want to learn more about the Salomon QST Lumen 98, head on over to skiessentials.com and we'll see you out there.
Okay, she did kind of talk about what I was saying with, yeah, the 92 would probably be preferable. Ski Essentials really tries to dance around, you know, talking negatively about one ski, because at the end of the day, they're trying to move inventory. They sell the skis. We've talked about that before. That all being said, I would agree with her that the 92 is gonna be more responsive. What they don't say is they don't wanna like beat up on the ski, so they just kind of suggest something instead. What I would say is, at 98 underfoot, it's not gonna have the responsiveness and the quickness in the turns that the 92 will have, but the trade-off is you get that really good powder flotation. Now, they don't bring that up because they're on the East Coast and you gotta move inventory, so you're not gonna say that. I'll tell you, if you're daily driving on the East Coast, probably the 92 you would enjoy more. If I was, you know, making a suggestion to friends, that's what I would do. But if you're on the West Coast, 98 is really gonna be a good daily driver if you wanna make sure you're not missing out on any snow. A little wider than I would pick, but I like kind of quick slalom turns on the groomers. Overall, this was a great review. Very insightful. I would say that like everything she was saying, if you just put it on a spreadsheet, made sense. There were a couple things where she didn't really talk about how it felt on snow as much as I would have liked. She did a little bit at the end, and I know that people want to hear about the construction, and that's good, but it just can kind of feel like reading off of a PowerPoint presentation. You want to talk about how the ski really feels, at least for me when I'm buying skis, that's what I want to know. I give it 1 thumb up. I think overall, if I was looking at buying skis, this would be helpful to know. I do think that I wish that they danced around the cons a little bit less, but I always think that about almost every ski reviewer, especially people who are selling the skis. And they don't necessarily talk about kind of just how smooth that apex of the turn feels, but good skiing, overall, pretty good. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys took the time to watch my video. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps my channel out a lot. As always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.